How's it going, Sha?
Yeah, it's going all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. I had like I was in an Uber this week,
Mm-hmm.
and I was confused by the driver's choice. He had the GPS um talking out the directions.
Mm-hmm.
He was. I asked him afterward. He said he was Korean, and he had the voice speaking in English but with a Korean accent.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I was like really intrigued by that. I never seen that before. He said it was easier for him to understand because all the English he hears sounds like that.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. I was like legit like, yo, this is wow. This is a whole, this is like, so like, I was like, I was like I was thrown off that was a thing that he would
Mm-hmm.
find that helpful, and B, I was hyped that like the GPS company would think to do that. Like, nah, we need. It's not just Korean speaking. We need an English speaking with a Korean accent.
Yeah, I wonder I wonder if that's like something that you like download separately or something? Like
Maybe.
a widget or something like that you can just kind of add to it.
Yep.
That that's wild and very smart
Yeah, I was hyped.
of them to think of that.
I was legit like blown away. I was like, yeah, I don't know how this is happening, but this is such a like niche customer need that I'm glad is being served by this company. For granted for its employees or whoever did it, or if it was just like a general GPS he was using net because
Mhm.
he had two of them up. He had like the app for the company, and then he had his
Right.
own. So I think it was like a separate one that did it. But whatever company's doing that, it's still American since they're using English, I would assume. But they know to
Well,
do
I mean,
that.
it could be Korean.
Yeah, fair.
It could be Korean. Do you know in in Atlanta I used I had a couple of regular laundromats
Yeah.
and they tended to be owned by Korean families.
Mm.
So there was one that was by a job that I worked. So I would just on my way to work drop off, laundry, go over there, check on it, move it to the dryer, all that stuff, and then bring it back. And that one, the surrounding neighborhood, the population was mostly Mexican.
Okay.
So I would go in, and the Korean owner would have like Telemundo on
Okay.
for most of the people who were there. But then occasionally they would watch something in English, and I would watch like a Korean people try to speak to the Mexican people in broken English, but broken in two different places.
That's dope.
Do you know what I
Hell yeah.
mean? And I would just sit there and go, "This is kind of fascinating how they're working this out." Like I remember being in during the Olympics or something, and like what they're watching it through like NBC, of course, and that's all in English, and they're trying to parse it through their. It was kind of wild to see that play out. It would kind of fascinate me to see everyone talking to each other. Um, and then there was a laundromat near where I lived, the last place I lived.
Yeah.
There was a laundromat there owned by a Korean family, and I think the matriarch of the family was the woman who was in the most, and she was feisty. She was very feisty, and that neighborhood, the population was mostly black.
Yeah.
So they were all every. She was arguing with everybody all the time, but she was arguing as if like she had a lilt to her English, which still had a Korean accent, but also had a little bit of like a black scent to it.
Okay.
So she would use words and phrases and say things in a way where I'm like, yeah, I don't. That's huh? You know, like I don't know if that's yours too, but that's what she's hearing.
Right, right.
So that's how it's coming out. And just like I mean, like she would talk to someone. I think she called me honey child a couple of times. And I was just like, okay, not only are you talking to mostly black people, but they are all old black people.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Who's still saying honey child? Like it was just wild. That was also a wild one
Oh, that's
to watch
awesome.
her argue and like suck her teeth, like she's from the it was really funny.
Oh man, I really like enjoy like seeing, like how communities like adapt and like solve problems.
Mhm.
Um, like I get a real like joy out of going to different parts of New York and going to that business that does everything. You know, like like every like
Oh, you mean like they notary and
yeah.
you can mail stuff?
Exactly, like because it tells me about that community. Like, oh, these are the problems of this nationality trying to get in
Right.
contact back home. So, like, if you go to like East New York and you see like a Dominican shop that like has they'll have the money order,
Mhm.
the cards that I don't even know people still bought phone cards, but they buy them, the $5 card.
Yes, right.
You know, so
Yeah.
like, is a store that like has phone booths where like you can walk in and rent the phone to call home now, and
Oh,
it's like a whole
wow.
thing that like I can't logically understand needing that in my life, but clearly enough people need it that it exists and serves a purpose here. So like it lets
Mhm.
me know like a little bit of that world. Like I clearly like I'm assuming that call costs too much on a regular plan, or some services don't cover it. So that tells me that. Then there's however much I view it as we're struggling, they view it as we're doing well because I could send stuff back home. And the little
Mhm.
I make here means more there. Like it's fascinating to me, like what you can learn. And this group of people also frequently needs to learn how to drive because they offer lessons as well. Like it's such a like
Okay.
mix of like things. So like you go in there, you could buy a cell phone case, call DR, send them money, and learn how to drive one shot. You know what I mean?
Right.
I love seeing those places and how they're a little bit different in each like cultural enclave of New York. I think they're like a real cool peek into different
Yeah,
cultures.
I mean those you see them in any underserved
Yeah,
neighborhood, right? So that's why I always think of a notary because
yeah,
I feel like in Atlanta it's always like I'm seeing notary, I'm seeing check cashing services, phone cards. I've not seen it with the phone in the place,
yeah,
but that's very smart because it may not even be that it's super expensive. It may just be we don't have a landline,
yeah.
and this won't work on a cell phone
It's
or
dope. Yeah,
yeah. So there, but they sell phone cards and then
and travel agency is another one I used to see a lot.
travel agencies.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, it's just like that's wild to see that it's just like, and it's a door, like a couple of doors down, if not right next door to a restaurant.
right, right. Yeah, you could buy
So
a chicken for $8 next door.
yes,
By mine, it's good.
yeah, the whole thing, it's all right there, one stop shopping.
Hell yeah. You coming
Yeah,
home from a hard day of work, you see the fam, send money to the fam back home. You ain't had time to cook dinner, you buy chicken right there. Boom, you good. Barbershop
there's a
across the street.
down the street from me. There's a what could be a one of like a garden level apartment where it's partially underground,
Yeah,
but sometimes people have businesses in there.
yeah.
And I didn't even realize it was there until one day I saw the truck and the barrels where they pack up the barrels to send to the Caribbean,
Oh,
like pack it
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
pigs, and to send off. And I only knew what that was because my dad's family, like half of my dad's family is from St. Kitts. And so he would talk about he would buy things here and then his grandmother would go, "That's enough of that. Send that to your cousins," or whatever, you know what I mean? She'd pack up some of his stuff and just send it off, and he'd come home from school and she's like, "I sent it to your cousins," or whatever.
Yo, that's
So
dope.
that's the only reason I know what those barrels are for.
Yeah.
Because that's like, I feel like a New York thing. I've never seen that in Atlanta.
Yeah. Here I know like my family used to do that with cars. Like it was like they would ship a car to DR because it was cheaper to buy it here, and then because of the way they shipped the car, they only paid for the spot, not the weight. So then they
Oh,
would jam
wow.
the car with all these supplies.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so it would be like, yo, you're buying a car, and then like your community is getting like clothing, sneakers, and stuff like
Right.
that they could use locally. I remember doing that like every now and then, like we'd get like a call in the house saying like, hey, such and such is shipping a car over. If you want to send something to your mom, we got, space on this seat. Or we got, and then, whatever the case may be, you could do it up.
That's so great.
Yeah. It was a thing.
That's super fantastic.
Like my mom still every now and then will hit me up like, yo, you got any clothes you're not wearing? And she'll like package it all up and send it back to people.
I love that.
Straight up. We out there. Now, man. There we go. Let's get into the news, Sha.
All righty.
Multicultural episode.
I know. By evidence of, I guess, our first story.
Let's do it up. Flight attendants at SkyUp Airlines are saying goodbye to skirt and heel uniforms. The Ukrainian airline is launching a new look this fall with an emphasis on utility and comfort. For female flight attendants, the new uniform will include white Nike sneakers and a loose orange and suit with a blue scarf. Times have changed, women have changed. So in contrast to the conservative classic heels, red lipstick, and a bun, a new, more modern and comfortable image of a champion has appeared. That's a little much. All right. I was on board with you till then. You was wilding a little bit there, but okay. Olga Saragradskaya.
Nope, you'll never say it. Let's see. So Redzgraskaya.
Yeah, I think yours is better. Curator of the project added that the airlines worked with Ukrainian fashion designers to build the uniforms, notably the Gudu brand to develop the orange suits and Gunia project to create the silk scarf. Shoes and heels look beautiful. I do not want to argue with that, but feet suffer and swell by the end of the flight. Sneakers are absolutely cool, said Alexandrina Denyana Senko, senior flight attendant with SkyUp, told Reuters last week. God forbid, but if a crew has to do a landing in water or in an evacuation, heels can damage the ladder and it won't be very comfortable to swim in a skirt.
Man, that's a very good point that I did not consider.
Word. I'm on board.
I mean, I'm already for them wearing, and I will say, everybody, I'll describe this suit for you. There's a picture. It is an orange suit, but under this light, it looks a little, okay, I guess it is kind of a true orange. It has like a yellow undertone.
Yeah.
But, so like your orange yellow crayon.
Yeah.
Right. And the scarf is light blue with a dark blue stripe and an orange stripe in that that hangs from the shoulder like military style, like in one of those things. Anyway, like what would be rope? I don't know. I know nothing. But and then like a simple tee, and then like it's a blazer, and then he's kind of looser, a straight leg kind of cut, and then I guess do they have them in? I was going to say Air Force Ones. I imagine you would call them Uptowns. Is that what they're in?
I wouldn't be surprised. I couldn't tell from that angle from how far off the orange.
But I feel like you got to break those in before you can. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't understand why. Look, you already have to be a certain size and weight in order to be a flight attendant. there are limits to that.
Right.
And then you want to put them in heels too? It's not fair.
Yeah,
Go ahead and put them in sneakers.
I'm pro to sneakers just because what I everything. The more I thought about the job, like I think you're more of an athlete than anything. You know, I want you going up and down the aisles quickly. You know what I mean? Efficiently. We getting served drinks. You serving drinks to 250 people, serving meals. You showing people how to deal with the seatbelt. You got to be authoritative. You know what I mean? You don't got to be worrying about pressure on your feet. You got to be able to chin check somebody real quick. You know what I mean?
That's nowadays, yes, you do.
Like,
you also got to get in the gym.
Yeah.
Because these people are fighting back. So yeah, you do have to be able to do all of that.
So like, you know, if I'm seeing that as the job, I don't want you in heels. That's a disadvantage. You offer your, you know, you gotta be able to fight. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to do the job quickly and efficiently. So I feel like this is more inclined with that. I'd have gone one step further. I'd have given them like tracksuits. You know?
I mean, we don't know what the material is.
Fair.
Maybe it's terry cloth doesn't really fleece doesn't hang like that. But if it is a comfortable, breathable fabric, yes. Like I'd hate to think that they are still in weird polyester in this suit. I would hope that it's comfortable, like even from a fabric standpoint.
Yeah.
That scarf, though stylish, I hope that they don't have to wear that while they are walking up and down the aisles and serving, because that's going to get all in the way.
Yeah, I don't see any purpose for that whatsoever. Show me that.
But I mean, unless it is like a secret kind of tool, you know, like you can use it to, I don't know, tie wings to the plane or something. Like if it's that kind of thing, yes. But I still think when it comes to service, you may want to fold that up and make it like a pocket square until service time is over.
Serious. I want to see that. That shit better have a bottle opener or something.
And I am impressed with the color choice because it's a bright, bold color.
I like the color.
I do too. I hope it looks good on the skin tones of the people of the Ukraine.
Fair. I like it because also like the job, like it makes you easier to spot. You know what I mean?
Easier to spot. It's a color that might, because of the yellow undertones, might cheer people up a bit.
Yeah, you're easier to spot too on in the airport. Like for safety reasons, I think there's a lot of advantages. If I have a question, I know where to go to. I like a lot about the orange.
Yeah, because I don't like, you know, I think it's maybe Southwest, it's like a navy blue. Delta is like this not good, dark, purpley puce situation that I am not a fan of. We got to do better by our Delta people. Those suits are terrible.
Y'all are slacking
and
over there.
And they still got to wear pantyhose and shit. It's not fair.
And I'm seeing now, it looks like they wear some type of Air Max.
Okay, that's good.
I like that. You need the bubble for sure.
You do, absolutely.
I'm pro bubble on this. I like this.
Yeah, I guess that'll help with the floating in case you guys. That's not helping, but you understand.
Well done. Squid Game is causing white van sales to spike up 7,800%. Get them before they're gone. That's right. This Halloween, the search for white slip-on vans might be just as competitive as an episode of Squid Game. Fans searching for costumes inspired by the Netflix hit series have caused items like green and white tracksuits and Vans white slip-ons to become instant bestsellers, and they're selling out fast. Currently, the white slip-on Vans have seen a 7,800% spike in sales ever since Squid Game premiered in Netflix in September of 2021, according to Soul Supplier. Tracksuits are also becoming a hot ticket item this Halloween as fans attempt to recreate the uniforms worn by players on the wildly successful South Korean thriller.
I want better for people. I want them to do something else.
You want them to do better in terms of you don't like these. This is a Halloween costume?
This is so lazy.
It is.
It's so lazy. I'm going to get a green tracksuit and I'm going to get these white bands and I'm going to be one of the people in, what's this called again? Squid Game. And that's how little I care about Squid Game. What is it again? And then you're going to show up to the function and it's literally going to look like Squid Game because all of you are wearing the exact same thing. Why would you think it's original?
Yeah, it's fair.
Why do you have your heart set on it? It's been out a month. Why is your heart set on dressing like someone from Squid Game? Be better. You know what? Be better. If you got to go topical, I say go old topical. Go like 2 years old topical.
Okay. What was that?
You know what I mean? Like pick a show or a movie, a look from something that isn't what is being watched right now.
So last year was Tiger King. That was the big one.
Oh, I guess everybody was that, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm sure if I had really thought about it and I wasn't concentrating on staying alive, I would have thought that was a shitty idea too. I just want better for you. The thing is, for me with Halloween, I don't dress up. I think regular listeners have picked up on the fact that I am not fun. So
That's not true.
I don't necessarily dress up a lot. When I do, it's like a evergreen thing. Like I was a crazy cat lady once where I just wore a bathrobe and had like stuffed animal cats pinned to it. Very simple, very effective.
Well done.
But I remember that night when I went out, and this was years after this particular movie came out. I saw a girl in a cropped tank top and a little mini skirt or so, denim mini skirt, and a chain around her waist.
Okay.
And she was Christina Ricci in that Black Snake Moan movie.
Oh, okay.
But it was a strong, like 6 years after that movie had come out. And I was like, that's brilliant.
She's a fan. I like it.
Because that was iconic. That was an iconic look. But it wasn't the iconic look of right then. But when you looked at her, you were like, I know exactly what you are. Because it was that iconic. If it's iconic enough, it'll make it a few years. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want more from people.
You already.
I just think if you go to 4 shoe stores and you can't find these white Vans, hang it up. It's not for you.
I can't. I'm just against buying white Vans in general. So.
Why?
I'm not a fan. I don't like anything that feels too hospital-y. This feels like hospital gear.
That's a very good point.
I can't do it. And then they're just gonna be sitting there like you're not rocking this again. Ever.
You might. I mean, here's the thing. They look hospitally if you look hospitally.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I think part of the reason why I tend to avoid white sneakers is because I have nurse legs.
Okay.
So I can't be out here with white sneakers and a skirt. I have nurse legs. I can't.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I avoid it. So if you don't look like a nurse or an orderly or whatever, a candy striper, whatever.
Oh my God.
It's why I can't wear. I had a pair of drawstring pants that I really liked.
Yeah.
And they were like a grassy kind of color.
Yeah.
And I was so excited about them. And I had this shirt that had elements of that color green, but other things in it. And I put together this outfit that picked out all the colors, other colors. And it was a whole thing. And I wore it to the job I had at the time. And this girl came back into my section. And this girl was extremely stylish. And she came in and was like, oh, so we were just wearing scrubs to work? And I never wore those pants again.
Wow.
And I was in my 30s. Like, this wasn't like a teenage thing.
Right, yeah.
This bitch fucked me up in my 30s.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, I can't wear pants this color again. And I can't wear drawstring pants again because my body makes them look like scrubs.
Fuck.
Yeah. You just got to know what your body's going to do with them.
That's fair.
So there are probably a bunch of lanky ass people who can wear these white slip-ons and they'll get them kind of scuffy and they'll walk around. They'll look like a bunch of skaters or,
yeah.
You know, just teenagers or whatever. And they got bangs in their eyes and the whole nine. But I can't do it.
Won't be us.
So I get what you mean by that. But it's, you know.
Yeah.
But I think there are people who will be able to pull it off.
Okay. I realized like I can't wear like black Dickies jackets. I look like a bouncer everywhere. That's my
Man,
issue.
I'm sure you in a black shirt.
Yeah,
Everywhere you go, people just hand you their ID.
all the time. I'm out front of places. They just start asking questions about when it's opening and who can get in. It's my life. That's how I feel you on this. I like that. Bouncer body and nurse legs.
Yeah,
Bomb.
bouncer body. Oh wow, we're a crime fighting duo.
In other news, Kanye West massive ranch is on the market.
Uh-oh.
And possibly lead into signs of a reconciliation with Kim.
Oh no.
Never seen that much of an emotional turn in the title, Sha. Sha showing all her cards right here with that.
Oh man.
Kanye West seems to be saying goodbye to Wyoming, or at least a big part of it, because he's listed his monster-sized Monster Lake Ranch, and it has folks wondering if he's coming home to Kim Kardashian. The rapper's property, a huge chunk of land outside of the city of Cody, is back on the market for $11 million, which is surprisingly $3 million less than the asking price when Ye bought it in September of 2019. As we reported, it wasn't clear if Kanye paid the full $14 million back then, but whatever he paid for got him 4,500 acres and a lot more than a mule. Ha ha ha.
Oh wow!
Terrible.
Whoever wrote this better be black.
TMZ getting reckless.
They sure are.
That's wild right there.
I'm gonna have to do the research on whoever wrote this, because this might.
I was trying to find it. I'm noticing that that's conspicuously missing right here.
Yeah, I don't see no byline. We got you in our sights, TMZ.
We watching you.
Don't think we ain't see that shit.
While it's not for certain, many believe that this infatuation with Wyoming and spending a lot of time living and working there caused a major rift in his marriage. Kim even broke down crying during a tense meeting in the summer of 2020. So with the increasing signs that Kim and Kanye are trying to work it out, including being together for her recent SNL hosting gig, you got to wonder if his real estate moves signal something more.
No.
You're not a believer, Sha?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
That's a lot. That's a lot to keep on the books.
Yeah.
I don't know much about money, or divorce, or Kanye, but I feel like that is a lot to have. If you are getting ready to do a separation,
yeah,
I feel like you clear some things out before they start assessing what you make and what you may have to pay to, you know what I mean? Like if there is an alimony situation, if there ends up being an alimony situation, you may not want to have two huge ranches
in Wyoming
as like just places. You know what I mean? If you are, it feels like a business move.
Yeah.
And so I don't, yeah, I mean, like they could be working it out. I mean, they got 4 kids, and a thing that I've learned and I'm learning is that it's hard to just kind of, unless you just really have to, no matter the problems, there are a lot of couples that truly do stick it out for the kids.
Right.
I can't see why these two would do that because they have money. But I mean, there's also love. Anyway, so maybe. But my first thought is like, yeah, if you got 2 ranches and you may have to come up off money based on your assets.
Right.
Let's get rid of some of them houses.
Nah, for sure. You imagine you paying more alimony because of some you got in Wyoming? Like that's gonna hurt. You gonna get teased over that shit. Absolutely. Big time, B. Nah, B. Yeah. I gotta pay an extra $5,000 because of Wyoming.
Mm-hmm. Nah. Yeah. Man. And I mean, like, also the thing about them having a tense meeting there in the middle of the summer of 2020, who wasn't having a tense summer in 2020? I was crying every day. It had nothing to do with Kim and Kanye.
Yeah, if anything, I read that like you had one tense meeting. Y'all was doing great.
One? Yeah.
Shit, you got divorced after that? Could have stuck it out.
Yeah. So they may, I mean, I wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they went ahead and got divorced and then we're still like together either because of the kids or because they have a bond. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's real.
So it could just end up being an unconventional relationship type thing, and we shouldn't. I feel like we probably shouldn't be trying to put any kind of labels or anything on whatever Kim and Kanye are going to do,
Right, right.
um, because they have shown us that they are free in a way that we probably don't understand because we don't have the means in which to be that kind of free.
Yeah, the life's a little
But
different, you know,
yeah,
a
but
little
I
bit.
still think he's just trying to offload a couple of things, you know.
He's getting ready for that
Hmm.
2024 presidential run. You heard it here first.
Oh
Just
Lord,
put it
yeah.
out there.
Also, I guess he'd have to answer tax wise for that. He
He's
ain't running again. That man is not running again.
coming back for that. You know what I
That's
mean?
probably what she was upset about.
You think so?
Yeah, summer of 2020. Yeah, because that's about when he started doing it.
Oh,
Because he was hella late with it.
listen, 2024. It's
All
going
right.
down. You got my right in
Yep.
vote, yay. Make it happen.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Finally, in far more logical news, Demi Lovato, guys, don't call ETs aliens anymore. It's freaking offensive. That's right. Demi Lovato has an out of this world take. Is bound to get eyeballs rolling. I'm gonna just stop reading the first paragraph of every TMZ article. They get a little out of pocket. The pop star,
They're setting the scene. They're setting the scene.
fucking Yelp reviews over here and shit, trying to get book deals off of this. The pop star made the bizarre plea to us Earthlings during an interview with Australian outlet Pedestrian.tv, in which they say the term alien itself is offensive, even as it pertains to actual would-be aliens from outer space who may or may not be zipping around above us. The context here is that Demi is plugging this new Peacock special of theirs called Unidentified, where they and their pals go looking for proof of Martians and seem to find something. While talking shop on their ET project, they said this: I really think that if there was anything out there that would want to do that to us, it would have happened by now. But I think that we have to stop calling them aliens because aliens is a derogatory term for anything. That's why I like to call them ETs. So yeah, that's a little tidbit, a little information that I learned. Demi Lovato.
Okay. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
man.
First of all, shout out to Demi Lovato
Amen.
because they have made it a lot easier for me to tell them apart from Selena Gomez. When
Okay.
the two of them came up initially in the Disney machine, and we really need to, as a country, talk about the Disney machine because it is
Yo.
messing things up for everyone except Ryan Gosling. Um, like I couldn't tell them apart because they were both just two brunettes who talked shit about Miley Cyrus, I think, and
Right.
that's all I knew about them. Um, so I didn't know who was who. So finally, I have realized that Selena Gomez is the one that cannot sing, and Demi Lovato is the one that can sing. But that took me entirely too long. Like 3 or 4 years ago, did I realize that?
Okay.
And they showed up in like the aughts. So um, so just in case I get that confused, which I won't, because Demi Lovato recorded one of the best pop songs I think ever made. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
Um, it is a perfect. The pop math is there. It's a perfect song. Um, and so this thing here with the aliens being a derogatory term and instead calling them ETs, which honestly sounds a little like I don't know. Like I feel that feels childish to me.
Yeah, it felt worse to me.
Yeah, ETs felt worse.
Like, I don't know what to call them if alien is offensive, but whatever we decide to call them, it should be a word. Like, I feel like you deserve a
Yeah.
word. I feel like ETs isn't a word.
No, and it's extraterrestrial, right? Which
Yeah.
is also just as like,
That sounds worse.
yeah, you're extraterrestrial, like you're extra out there. I don't know. It's not Demi, baby. I think we can do better than this. It feels insulting.
Yeah.
I'm not someone who is from another planet. I don't think, but it feels a little insulting. But I appreciate you taking the stance.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, oh, Demi Lovato, they say ETs. And also, did the whatever we're talking about, the extraterrestrial aliens, whatever, did they ask you to come up with another nickname for them?
Right.
We don't know. What do they want to be called?
Like, if they're saying, yeah, yo, nah, call me ETs, then I'm on board. Then, it's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they would have something else to say.
I feel like, yeah, we should probably figure out a way to like communicate with them first.
Yeah. That is
because I want to make sure that we clear this up with them first, because I don't want our first conversation with creatures from outer space to be like, I heard y'all calling us ETs now. like that's the first thing that comes through a machine that's just like boop, 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 and then a piece of paper comes out and it's like, why y'all shitting on our names? Like, that wasn't us, that was Demi.
Yo, what if like instead of aliens, we messed it up and it's like Ali N? Like, what if it's first name, last name, like Ali N?
So they should really they're just Ali?
Ali, you know what I mean? That's a name.
I don't know. I think it would be, I mean, also I feel like we're putting a lot of weight on alien.
Right.
I don't know what is it really our fault because we have taken what I guess the word described the people things from wherever and now we've put it on to people in a negative connotation?
Right.
And so now that negative connotation has spread to the space, or is that just what we call anyone that we don't understand? I don't know. It's a lot. It's very heavy, but I also don't think that they want to be called ETs.
Yeah, ETs I'm adamantly against. ETs can't be it. Nah.
Yeah. Demi's got to go back to the drawing board on this one. Yeah. Back to the drawing board on this one, Demi.
Good idea, not the execution.
Yeah.
You gotta work on that. I think there's some here, but that ain't it. We gotta brainstorm some more. What if they're just like deeper regular names, like Rob or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet you anything. It's just like, my name's Steven. Oh, okay.
If you'd like us to meet Steven one day. All you gotta do is like and subscribe to the show, baby. That's right. If you're a Apple listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars, you calling them ETs, and you gonna get jumped for that when they show up. They gonna come for you. 5 stars, you respect the fact that they can be called what they call, but you're open-minded enough to let them choose and tell us. That's it should be. If you got any articles you'd like us to cover, DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Also, if you are a fan of seeing people, you can see the show now on YouTube. We got the link back up, so you can check all those episodes out going forward. We made it look pretty, it's fancy. And the real cool part is, in order to make all the tech stuff work, Sha can't see me while we're recording. So technically, you'll see it before she sees it. How cool is that?
Yeah, I have no idea what is happening.
That's what's happening out there, baby. So with all that said, my name is Gastor Almonte. Always with the homie Shalewa Sharpe. It's been another War Report. Catch y'all next week. Peace.